Hello, I A.S. Kulkarni welcome you to my presentation on hospitals. Learning outcomes of today's presentations are: after completion of this presentation, you will be able to understand the organization and management of the hospital. Also, you will be able to remember the health delivery system in India. So the roadmap of today's presentation: first, we'll see organization and management of the hospital. Afterwards, we'll see health delivery system in India. Before going to start the presentation, here is a reflection spot for you. This question is for you. How will you analyze organization of the hospital? Just pause the video, write the answer for this question, and then play the video. I think you have written something. Let's move forward. So first we'll see the organization of the hospital. So hospital is not only providing the patient care but also involving in research and development and professional education. So the organization of the hospital is mainly depends on the whatever activities which is going in the hospital. So let's see the organization. First, see here the governing body. So governing body in this committee, so many members are there. So that members is depends on the owner of that particular hospital, either government, corporation, various trusts and board of directors. It depends on the owner of the hospital. So here governing body plays a very important role about the legal status of the hospital. So also he is responsible for the better service to the patient. So whatever services he is rendering, so governing body is responsible for these services, and also he is responsible to appoint dean, executive director and chairman of that hospital as a administrator. So after appointing the administrator, here role of administrator starts. So he appoint head of department to each department under clinical services as well as administrative services. Under clinical services, administrator should appoint head of department to medicine, surgery, pharmacy, nursing, dietary, pathology and radiology department. Also, he should appoint head of department under administrative services like legal aspect, finance, maintenance and transport. So this is an overall organization of the hospital. So it comes from the governing body, then administrator, then head of department under clinical services as well as administrative services in the hospital. So let's see the functions and a role of each department. First one, governing body. So governing body plays a very important role in the hospital. It comprises the legal status to the hospital, as well as governing body is responsible for proper functioning of the hospital, because whatever material which is required in the hospital, so governing body must sanction this to provide better services to the patient. Also he is appointing executive director, chairperson as a administrator. So after appointing the administrator, here the role of administrator will start. So whatever the policies which is laid down by the BOD, that is board of director or governing body, so administrator should implement in the hospital. So this is the first role of the administrator, to implement policies which is laid down by the board of director. Also, here is a very important role of administrator to form professional finance and purchasing committees to run the hospital in very efficient manner to provide good services to the customer or patient. So after that, administrator are looking for the availability of medical staff. So various types of medical staff which is required in the hospital to run the hospital in very efficient manner to provide good services or better services to the patient. So let's see the various types of medical staff. So here 5 types of medical staff which is working in the hospital. In that first, residential medical officer. So this type of medical staff which is residing in or near to the hospital and available for 24 hours in the hospital to attend any type of patient in case of any emergency. Next, consultant medical staff. So he is not available for 24 hours in hospital, but he is coming in the hospital on a particular day and time. So day and time for this consultant which is fixed. He is coming on only that day with that particular time. Next, visiting specialist. So this type of medical staff which is expert in specific branch of medicine like pediatric, gynecology, general or any other, but he is coming in the hospital when hospital call to him to come to the hospital to give his expert opinion about any case. Let's see next, honorary staff. So honorary staff is an retired medical professionals and provide honorary services to the hospital. So he is a retired medical professional, but he is working his own clinic. But whenever the emergency is happen in the hospital, so that particular staff providing honorary services to this particular hospital. Next, head of department. So it is very important professional in the hospital. At the time of appointing this head of department to each department, so administrator and governing body should take care of that particular professional. Either he is competent, experienced and expert person and he is available full time in the hospital. So head of department for medicines like gynecology, general medicine, pediatric, cardiology, neurology and psychiatry, etc. And also for surgery department like general surgery, obstetric, gynecology, ophthalmology and orthopediatry or any other. Coming to the next, the functions of head of department, that is HOD. So here these are the 4 general functions. In that first, so HOD is overall responsible the activities which is done in this department. So whatever activities which is done in department which gives better service to the patient. Also he is responsible to give quality services. So for these quality services, whatever material which is required in the hospital, so head of department of that particular hospital should make this material available in his department. Also he should prepare future plan. He is planning for the future as well as he is giving training program in his department for the fellow professional. Also he is preparing the monthly report and send it to the administrator or higher authority. So these are the main four functions for each department which is present in the hospital. Coming to the next, that is clinical department. It is very important department in the hospital, and depends on running on the specialized medical staff which is present in the department. This department providing services like medicines, either general medicine or any of the specific medicine, also for the surgery, pathology and radiology services. Also, this department gives supportive services such as dietary and housekeeping. So this department is a very important department in the hospital. Next, surgical department. It is also very important department in the hospital. Surgical division is nothing but the operation division where the surgery is done. So this department require professional as well as competent staff as well as skilled person to run this particular surgical department in efficient manner. So this department require sterile instrument as well as sterile material at the time of surgery. So here CSS department, that is Central Sterile Service Department, plays an very important role for providing sterile material to this department, as well as those person who is working in this department should have knowledge on some vital instruments as well as surgical accessories and surgical instrument like scalpel, forceps and any other material. Coming to the next, radiology department. It is also very important department which is headed by radiologist. So this department have diagnostic as well as therapeutic value. So this department is diagnosing the disease of that particular patient by using radioisotope. So while the processing is going on, so those members which is present in this department should wear the barrier jacket or barrier coat. So this department have also computer aided instrument like CT scan, sonography and CAT. CT scan, that is computed tomography, and CAT, that is computer aided tomography. So this department plays a very important role in the hospital, which is a diagnostic purpose. So after diagnosis, he should send the report to the clinical department. Next, that is maternity department. So it is very important services in the hospital because this service needs in community. This is nothing but the delivery ward. So here actually maintaining the proper record such as infant record, birth record of this baby after delivery. But in case of any premature birth, so hospital or that particular department should provide special care to the mother as well as baby. Next, clinical and pathological services. So this department is headed by MD pathologist who is an experience in this department, and this is an competent staff. So here actually testing or diagnosis is done with the help of blood sample and biochemistry testing. So after getting the result from the testing, so that result should be sent to the clinical department to give the further treatment to the patient. This department also comprises some sections like hematology, histocytopathology, serology, biochemistry, and pathophysiology. Each section is well designed and well equipped as per norms led by the government authority. Next, blood bank. It is very important department which is present in the hospital, because here a special license is required to run the blood bank in the hospital. So here FDA is declared that blood is an therapeutic agent. Also, this department required various instruments for the collection, processing, testing, and storage of blood. Also, this department should maintain all the records about the donor recipient and receivers. This department, which is headed by MD hematologist, government providing license to this hospital to run the blood bank if they have fulfilled all the requirement to run this blood bank. Next, steps involved in this. In that first step, receiving of examination of the donor. So here a complete registry of donor is taken as name, address, sex, body weight, and brief query about the medical history. Next step, collecting, processing, and storage of blood. So here blood is collected by venipuncture method in a container which contains anticoagulant agent acid citrate dextrose to avoid the clotting of blood, and then it is stored at 4 degrees centigrade in cold storage. So the blood will remain stable for 21 days at 1 to 6 degrees centigrade storage. Next step, ABO grouping and compatibility testing before transfusion. So here a sample of donor which is tested for ABO and RH factor, and it is categorized accordingly. At the same time, serological tests are performed for HIV, hepatitis, etc. And then after this step, the container which is labeled with all the details. Next, nursing services. So it is a very important services in the hospital. Nursing services is the largest and integral part, and it plays a very important role in the hospital about the patient care. In every department of the hospital, nurses are available to work except pharmacy department. So in pharmacy department, a registered pharmacist is required to work. So here is also head of a department in nursing services called as nursing administrator, head of department or superintendent is also called as matron, who is actually managing all these nursing services in the hospital. So he is regulating duties to the all the nurses. So here is an responsibility of this nursing services, that is head of department. So first one, coordination to all the department. So it is very important because every department have and nurses to work in that particular department. So here coordination is a very important factor while working in the hospital. Next, administration of the medicine to the patient. So it is very important service in case of patient. So here nursing services works as an administration of a medicine to the patient. So whatever dose which is prescribed by the physician, so here nurses are actually that administering dose to the patient, as well as send monthly report to the higher authority. So whatever report that HOD will generate after the ending of the month should send to the higher authority, as well as maintain the all records and give quality and professional services to the patient. So whatever dose which is administered to the patient, so that should be recorded in the medical history and provide the better service and professional service to the patient. After that, look for to need of a department and arrange training program for fellow nurses. So whatever fellow nurses who are working or who are joining, so before starting his actually working in the hospital, so here HOD should provide training program to those nurses, and after completing of this training program, so nurses will work in the hospital. Let's see the importance of nursing services. So nursing services in for ambulatory patient as well as for inpatient. What is the meaning of ambulatory patient? It is nothing but the outpatient. So he is taking a treatment without admitting in the hospital. And inpatient means those patients which are admitted in the hospital for the treatment. So here nursing plays a very important role in case of ambulatory patient as well as inpatient. So for ambulatory patient, so here he helps in a preparation of case paper for a particular patient. So he is guiding to that patient at the time of registration counter to prepare case paper. Next one, guide to the patient. So here nurses guiding to that particular patient, so whom he supposed to consult to get the treatment. Next, assistance to the physician. So whatever judgment obtained after diagnosis which is mentioned in the case paper, so here nurses assisting to the physician to provide treatment. So in case of inpatient, so there is a patient care. So here it is a very important role of nurse in case of inpatient. So in these, nurses checking the various normograms, routinely checking the body temperature, blood pressure, pulse rate, etc. as well as he is taking care about the administration of medicine as per schedule, as well as overall she is monitoring patient status and convey his report to the physician. Second, for operating patient. So here the patient which is prepared before surgery in context of checking the essential physiological parameter. So here this nurse is checking either that particular patient which is ready for surgery or not, as well as nurses consult pharmacy and administrator department to obtain operation theater requirement such as sterile object or material which is required for the surgery. Also, she prepare OT with respect to arrangement and equipment, surgical instruments and supplies which is required for the surgery. Also, she is monitoring patient continuously in OT department during critical hours. So overall, nursing services plays an very important role in the hospital about patient care and provide better services to the patient. Coming to the next, medical record. Medical record is nothing but complete medical history of that particular patient. It includes admission slip, pathological test report, x-ray reports and other reports also. So in this medical record, all the history of that particular patient which is maintained, and this medical record which is used for research as a case study as well as for legal purposes. So it acts as an complete medical history of this patient and it helps to evaluate ADR, because at the time of administration of drug, here that nurse which is mentioning this medicine and time taken in the medical record. So it helps to evaluate by which medicine this ADR will happen, and also it is used to retrieve data for further use. So by using this medical record, physician judge so in which cases the ADR is happen and what type of medicine should be awarded to such a patient. Let's move forward. Next services, that is dietary services. So which is this department which is headed by dietitian, which is a well qualified personnel and well versed with the principle of a nutritional sciences. So he should have the knowledge about the nutrition and its principles. So here some factors which is considered for the diet of a patient, like type of disorder and condition. So this factor is very important when dietary services which is provided. So which disorder which is suffering or which is have with this patient, so that depends on what type of food which is recommended to that particular patient. And also condition is one factor which help or which consider in case of diet of that particular patient. Next factor is food drug interaction. This is meaning of food drug interaction, that is the effect of drug which is reduced due to the presence of food. So is there any possibility of that food drug interaction? So by considering this factor, we can help, or this factor can help for providing diet to the patient as well as restricted on diet. So here in case of diabetic patient, here the some foods which are restricted to that particular patient. So this factor is also considered when the diet of patient, as well as calories needed to that patient. These factors are also considered in case of dietary services to that particular patient. So what amount of calories which is needed to that patient. And lastly, here food allergies. If any particular patient have allergies regarding to this particular food, so that type of food which is avoided in case of dietary services. So the dietitian is responsible for the supply of food and a cup of coffee, tea to the medical staff and other personnel working in the hospital. So he plans and accordingly purchase the food grains, vegetables, fruits and milk teas. So it is very important services in case of patient as well as professional who is working in the hospital. Next, housekeeping. It is very important service in case of hospital. So housekeeping, which is this service is rendered by administrator department, so which involves dry cleaning with suitable antiseptic solution. So while cleaning is done, so the concentration of the antiseptic solution which is important, so it should not more than that concentration and it should not less. So suitable antiseptic solution which should be used while cleaning these floors and other. So next, beds. So here it is a very important service about the beds. So here changing of bed sheets and blankets are done. So here that which is previously clean. So it here daily purpose this changing bed sheet and blankets which is done by housekeeping department, as well as here removal of used material. So in wards, so many materials which are used there, for example syringes and other material. So here housekeeping department which should remove the used material in this ward. Also replacement sputum trays and urine bags should be replaced with time and should maintain the toilet cleaning or maintenance of the toilet. So this is very important services along with the clinical services, and it directly affects on the health of the patient. So these services is very important in the hospital. Next, sewage and disposal system. So sewage is nothing but the waste material. So either that waste material in the form of liquid or solid. So when it is disposed of, that called as a sewerage system. It includes screening, which is separated by the sedimentation or filtration method. Means here the solids which is separated from the liquid by using sedimentation or filtration method. So in the hospital, various types of waste materials which are coming either in the form of plastic surgical like syringes, IV set, BD set, BT set, so which are segregated from solid waste, as well as selection of disposal system is depends on properties of that particular material like physical property, chemical property and biological property. So here the study is done before disposing any waste material from the hospital. So here complete analysis of sewage is done on that waste material, as well as here the amount which is considered, what amount to be disposed of. So that factor is also considered when disposing of any waste material, as well as here method, selection of method, which is also important. So here on this basis, the complete analysis of sewage and estimation, here the suitable method is used to dispose the waste material. Next, so some waste material or raw material consists of organic and inorganic material. So it is decomposed by using any one of these bacteria, such as aerobic bacteria. So aerobic bacteria needs oxygen for survival. Anaerobic bacteria doesn't need any oxygen to survive. It enhances their growth by using carbon dioxide, as well as facultative bacteria, which survives in absence of oxygen under a favorable condition of the sewage, get composed itself. So mainly anaerobic bacteria are used to decompose hospital waste. So here a burial method or any suitable method is used. When burial method is used, then the waste material which is filled in that particular burial, and after the anaerobic bacteria which is placed on it, then there will be a decomposing of that material. Also here septic tank is used to decompose the waste material. So by using the bacteria, it is possible to decompose the waste material which is come from the hospital. So many waste material which is formed in the hospital with a different department like operation theater, canteen, ward, and a laundry. So these are the major source of forming the waste material, and which is decomposed by using suitable method. Coming to the next, disposal of solid waste. So that solid waste either plastic or unplastic or non-plastic material. So non-plastic material like cotton, wool, bandages, plasters, etc. So these material which is disposed by using incineration method, while in case of plastic items like syringes and IV sets, so here grinding method is used like cutter mill. So here that material which is reduced in a smaller granules. After preparation of these granules, that granules sold to the plastic industries for fabrication of domestic articles. You just remember that plastic materials which is not reused in the hospital. So this is about the organization and management of the hospital. Let's see next part, that is health delivery system in India. So it is very important aspect to provide good health to the public. So here health delivery which is done at central level as well as at state level. So in central level, central government makes an committee like Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, who is actually formulates the policies and schemes related to the health, and the finance ministry make available funds in an annual budget. After formulating the policies and scheme, he should coordinate with the state government to deliver health to the public. So health delivery in India takes place at central level and state level. So here central government under this Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare formulating the policies and coordinating with the state government. So after central government, that policies comes to the state government, then state government send that policies to the district government in district level, then that policies comes to the rural level. So here at rural level have some centers like PHCs, that is primary health centers, sub centers, as well as community centers to deliver health to the public. Next we'll see here the organization of the central or central government under this Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So this committee includes cabinet rank minister, then Minister of State for Health, after secretary, then joint secretary, after deputy secretary, then again divides into two classes: drug controller of India, in these deputy drug controllers and assistant drug control custom. Under deputy drug controllers, commissioners of drug is there, then it comes to the drug inspector. In second classes, after the deputy secretary, director general of health services is there, then it comes to the deputy director of health, that is DHS, then it comes to the deputy director of health services for public health, then for DHS for medical care and hospital, and DHS for general administration. It comes under Minister of State for Health. In next class, here Deputy Minister of Health and Family Welfare, then Secretary, then Commissioner, after that Deputy Commissioners are there, then Joint Secretary, Deputy Secretary, and then come to the Regional Directors. So this is an overall organization of Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which is actually responsible to deliver health to the public by making policies and schemes. Next, health delivery system at state level. So here Minister of Health of State is there, then Deputy Minister, after that Secretary is there, then Deputy Secretary, after that Director of Health Services, then Deputy Director of Health Services, after here Additional Deputy Director of Health Services for each faculty like medical education, health education, nursing, family welfare, nutrition, PHC, and school health. So this is an overall organization for health delivery at state level. So this is about the health delivery system in India. So the policies and schemes which is formulating at the central level and comes to the state level, then it comes to the district level, then rural level, then comes to the village level like PSCs, sub-centers and community centers. So this is overall about the health delivery system in India. If you have any questions, you can contact me on this number and mail ID. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you very much.